Dear learners, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. Prashant Gautam from University Institute of Hotel and Tourism Management, Punjab University, Chandigarh. Today, we shall be taking module number 5 titled Defining and Conceptual Base of Special Interest Tourism under the paper Special Interest Tourism. Dear learners, after studying this module, you shall be in a position to define special interest tourism and its characteristics, understand the theories of special interest tourism's existence, analyze the features of special interest tourism as a destination, understand the process of new product development, define guides and their role in special interest tourism. Let's introduce the topic. We are human beings and we need change in our life. The change is also a law of nature. We often replace our clothes, shoes, gadgets, home appliances, utensils, etc. with new one. We do not eat the same food daily. We change it with new taste and recipe. We change the mode of our entertainment from TV to home theatre and finally PBRs. We replace our car with some latest version focusing on color, comfort, size and mileage. Similarly, it happens with the destinations also. Being a tourist, we cannot visit the same destination many times for a single motive, and we are forced to visit some other destination for some other reasons. It may be possible that the same destination may offer some different taste to traveler in his or her next visit. But it is quite possible that the same traveler will hardly repeat the destination. The destinations have a challenge to attract tourists the manner in which it used to attract in the past. There are various examples in which destinations have become saturated and started losing visitors day by day. The law of change says that those who would not adjust with the changing scenario will hardly sustain. So, it has become a challenge in front of destinations to introduce new attractions and facilities for visitors to sustain and survive in the tourist market. Concepts behind the existence of special interest tourism. The researchers, they have done a lot of homework in investigating the impact of different types of tourism and tourists on the destinations. They have concluded that the emergence of new form of tourism and special interest tourism has influenced tourism industry, its nature and setting and its overall impact on tourist and host community. On the issue of sustainability, the world has configured it into good and bad tourism. The example of good tourism is alternative tourism, responsible tourism, niche tourism, special interest tourism, new form of tourism. The example of bad tourism is mass tourism. Because of its conventional and large-scale participation, it is undesirable form of tourism and has attracted a lot of criticism for spreading negative impacts in the host community. The common example of mass tourism is all the form of package tours and tours conducted by buses and trains carrying a lot of travelers with less expenses. There is no foolproof review is available which can say that yes, it was the main reason behind the emergence of special interest tourism. There are two philosophies running parallel and is claiming the reason behind special interest tourism. The first philosophy says that the special interest tourism has been conceptualized because of the negative impacts of mass tourism or conventional tourism. It protects the destination in terms of carrying capacity and resources so that destinations can sustain for a long time and may give benefit to those who are directly or indirectly associated with it. The second philosophy stressed that special interest tourism is not a new concept, but it is synonym to sustainable tourism, green tourism, ecotourism, cycle tourism, niche tourism, wilderness tourism, and many more. This type of tourism requires less man-made facilities, and tourist has to enjoy the destination without harming it by compromising with the services. Features of special interest tourism as a destination. Special interest tourism, similar to other tourism products, is an amalgam of both tangible and intangible products. Like other tourism destinations, it has the same tendency to attract tourists. The travelers are attracted towards the physical attributes, culture, history, monuments, etc. of the destination. The problem with this approach is that it focuses on the tangible form of tourism, and the rest things like host community and environment, which play a crucial role in the tourist inflow, is totally ignored. Special interest tourism talks about new places and new experience associated with it. Being a destination, special interest tourism must offer something new which is not available elsewhere, and this distinction makes it a unique. Special interest tourism as a destination has been associated with brand image to attract tourists. Like the distinguished features of the destination can be marked for destination promotion. Tulip garden in Kashmir can be offered for eco-lovers. Orchids in Sikkim can be marketed as a brand image for eco-tourists. Rishikesh as a religious shrine can be marketed as a place of mental peace, and many more destinations can be used as a resource for special interest tourism. New product development for special interest tourism. The emergence of special interest tourism is a result of the burdens of conventional form of tourism. The special interest tourism has been given birth as a new tourism product in the market. The development of a new product is always welcomed because it can change the direction of the business as well as add new customer to the business. Defining a new product is a challengeable task because there are many approaches of defining a new product. In commodity sector, the concept of new product may vary from major innovation to minor innovation. The new product can be a new for target market, consumers as well as firms. So far as special interest tourism is concerned, it may be launched for special tourists who need some special and which is not common. However, a systematic approach is required for special interest tourism development. A. Major and minor innovations. Special interest tourism is considered to be an uncommon destination which cannot be offered to every tourist. The existing destination must be explored for some new attractions which can distinguish it from conventional to non-conventional or special interest tourism. Major and minor innovations can give a new look to the destination in enhancing the spending time and money of the travelers, giving them an alternate form of tourism for recreation. The area needs to be explored for the small or large developments. B. Introduction of new services in the existing market. Special interest tourism as a tourism product prefers unbeatable and non-challengeable services. It offers quality services from entrepreneurs, travel agents, tour operators, hoteliers, and other stakeholders of the industry. For example, Buntar in Kullu in Himachal is served by a couple of Dornier flights in normal days, but when the famous Kullu Dussehra starts, it is served by many charter flights and chopper services. C. Changing into the style of the product. Special interest tourism is based on the existing resources which have been developed by considering special tastes of special tourists. Like cycling is a common phenomena in our daily life. But if it is included as a mode of sightseeing for natural beauty, valleys and wilderness, it has been considered as a form of special interest tourism product. Similarly, many attractions have been included into the list of special interest tourism, which is purely based on changing into the consumption styles of the product. D. Product or service improvement. What makes a man to divert from an existing product to a new product? Of course, it is the repeat use and consumption which makes him or her boredom, and as a result he or she starts searching a new product or service. Similar is the case with special interest tourism too. The innovation in services and improvement in products can be a good option for special interest tourism. History, definition, characteristics and motivation for special interest tourism. The existence of special interest tourism finds its root in the era of Grand Tour, when the noble families in Rome used to visit some designated areas but as a phenomena. This concept is relatively new and can be traced its history in 1980s. Special interest tourism is denoted by various other names like New Age tourism, niche tourism. It is also promoted by some other names like alternative form of tourism, responsible form of tourism, sustainable form of tourism, appropriate form of tourism and ethical tourism. Special interest tourism also promotes culture tourism, nature tourism, educational tourism, sports tourism, health tourism, agri-tourism and green tourism as an interest-based tourism which is similar to special interest tourism. There are certain issues on the name of special interest tourism because intellectuals are very much concerned and raises questions like special interest tourism means what? Does it talk about quality or a type of attraction or destination whose end result is mass tourism? There are some scholars who are advocating that special interest tourism is an individualized travel whose nature is non-commercialization and tourists are participating just for experiencing something new and their emotional attachment. The scholars have identified two important characteristics of special interest travelers. First, such travelers need novel, genuine and quality tourist experience. And second, the primary motive and decision making behind the journey is SIT or special interest tourism, thus defining it as a new term called serious leisure. The tendencies of such travelers are that they are hardcore leisure seekers and are having the nature of self-actualization, making interaction with local people, belongingness, self-expression, self-renewal, self-enrichment, etc. Special interest tourism is an activity which requires segmentation. The tourist and tourist destinations both are needed for its characterization. The destinations are required to go for SWOT analysis for its existing resources and on the basis of them they need to market their product. The same is applicable to the travelers also because they are also required to make their segment and understand their motive for visiting. On the basis of one's need, travelers can opt any form of special interest tourism. The segmentation will help industry people to identify the need and may formulate package tours for the target group or market. The target market may be a place and a target group can be a male or female or any age, a consumerism, young, child or senior citizen, employee, hobby, nature and many more. Tourism interpreter, guide and the tourism experience for special interest tourism. Special interest tourism as a product has biggest challenge is to search guides and interpreters for a better tourism experience. They are required to connect the knowledge of the destination to the travelers. It will have no positive impact on the destination unless the traveler are able to understand the emotions for the destination. It is the guides and interpreters who are aware of the site, destination, its history, geography and other characteristics and share with the traveler who are coming to. The existence of guides goes back to 17th and 18th century during Grand Tour era. Since then, the need of guides was badly felt for many reasons, like route identification, interpreting local art and craft, linking history with culture and many more. In modern times, they have become a prime component in the tourism industry. They are like catalysts that can either increase or decrease tourist census at the destination, as they may transform any trip into an ever-memorial experience or spoil through their skill and knowledge. In modern times, the role of guides has been defined by the terms pathfinders and mentor. Pathfinder is he or she points out the attractions of the interest falling on the way. Initially, the role of the guides was not specialized in comparison to modern times because they were local people and doing their business not by choice but by chance, without any specific training. When we are talking about the mentor, it means they are very much particular about the visitor's way of conduct and inculcates geographical and spiritual elements. For example, personalized touch and personalized attention. It has been suggested that guides should have following roles. A. Leader, because he or she has to lead the traveler for their special interest tourism destination. It is he or she who is communicating traveler into their own language and interpreting the destination. And also they have to quench of all the queries of the travelers. B. Educator, because he or she should understand the significance of the site and share the information with travelers. He or she may educate the travelers in many areas like significance, eco-friendly, sustainability, etc. C. Ambassador, because he or she is aware of the features of special interest tourism destination and he or she is the leader of the place. So far as competency and knowledge is concerned, he or she stands alone who can share the information in the desired manner. What he or she will share will be a truth and will be believed by everyone. D. Host, because he is hosting guests, taking utmost care for their hospitality, transportation, accommodation, safety, ease and comforts. The concept is prevailing because the role of a guide is also to welcome and inform the travelers by providing them the necessary information. E. As a facilitator, he or she makes arrangement for any need felt by the travelers. He or she provide every kind of facilities to the travelers. There are another word which is used for guides are cultural brokers, because they are offered commissions for their services. In general practice also, the guides book a group to a particular shop for shopping and souvenirs and they get some commission for every purchasing made by the travelers. They are also denoted as mediators because they bring service consumer and service provider on the same platform. Guides are also considered as a mediator because of the transmission of social and cultural information to the travelers. They act like destination's tourist body in providing experience of the place to the travelers. Guides are given the role of choreographers in the field of social experience and have been asked to examine their relation as a guide in providing better traveler satisfaction. Their contribution by interacting host and guest may lead to a positive contribution in the developing tourist destination. It has also been advocated that guide can explore the unexplored areas of destination catering the needs of travelers for SIT and hence can catalyst community-based tourism. The most important and primary motive of guiding profession is interpretation. Interpretation is an interactive and educational activity that creates emotional and intellectual connection between the traveler and natural and cultural environment. Interpretation is a planned activity whose primarily focus is to create an understanding of the history of the local place, indigenous people and objects. It also serves the purpose of translation of the natural and cultural environment for travelers and hence gets an appreciation. The interpretation also includes travelers' understanding of the significance of the place so that they may create sense of compassion for heritage, culture, landscape and conservation. The role of a guide is very wide because of multitasking responsibility which he or she is carrying. 8. What to do if you are a guide? Being a tourist guide, you must understand that every place, for example, special interest tourism or non-special interest tourism, has a potential to woo tourists, has a historical significance. While interpreting, it should have focus on the evidences or authentic sources which may vary period to period. It is advisable to use history for a better presentation in the following ways. History has to be taken as a discipline seriously, and there is no scope in historical writings or presentations for imaginary events or even mythology. If you are going for commentary or write-up based on myths and legends, must mention that such commentary has no historical evidence to prove it. Anecdotes should be presented as anecdotes and not as history, and there is always a way to do it. You should not forget that modern tourist is well equipped with all necessary information regarding destination. For example, he does all his homework before leaving for his choice of destination. This may possible that he or she may cross-check your commentary through good guidebooks, internet or other available sources. Avoid demonstrating your poor quality of knowledge, which may create cross situations for guiding skills. Dear learners, let's summarize. If we look back the history of conventional form of tourism, it has brought negativity in the host community as well as over destinations, resulted into a new form of tourism called special interest tourism. This special interest tourism has many synonyms, which are commonly known by alternate tourism, niche tourism, wilderness tourism, sustainable tourism, green tourism, etc. etc. This special interest tourism, similar to any tourism product, has certain features like intangibility, new place with new experience, and image building. Special interest tourism also needs product development with the steps like major and minor innovations, introduction of new services in the existing market, changing into the style of the product and service improvement, etc. are required to be followed. Being an innovative tourism product, special interest tourism also needs the services of guides to be required for destination interpretation. The qualities of a good guide are full of various soft as well as hard skills like communication, information, knowledge, pleasing personality, confidence, etc. The role of a guide is not to interpret the destination only, but it has a lot of pressure to motivate, convince and inform travelers for sustainable development for the destinations. There are some qualities and strict norms for guides which are required to be followed. Thank you.